Hello everybody and welcome to another stream from Overkill Productions. Today we're just going to sort of tool around in the Goose. We're flying in the Down Under over the Australian area. Figure we'll sort of just take a peek, see what we got going on around here, assuming that I can get my track IR to behave itself. Back to you all. If you guys haven't tried the Grumman Goose, I highly recommend it. She's got her quirks, some weird graphical issues, and then like I think the biggest problem with this aircraft is trying to trim it. Trimming is like the elevator trim doesn't seem to work it. I am. Thank you very much. I hope you are doing well. It's been one of those weeks. It'd be kind of fun just to go cruise around today and figure I'd take you guys along for the ride. Let's see if I can use the numpad to sort of trim her out a little bit. So I can flip the floats up. There we go. Although it helps when I actually click the screen. How's that? Is that better? We'll be quieting her down here too. So. All right, glad to hear it. So what do you guys all have going on this weekend other than watching me fly? For the 4th time? What's going on? SFA? You lost me on that one. I don't know why that didn't process. I'm sorry. Gotcha. Don't you hate those moments when something's like staring you in the face and you miss it and then you feel like a total dork when it's drawn out for you? I don't know why that didn't process. I think this is my favorite part of the simulator, is just that you can go anywhere in the world and see things you never thought you'd get to see. The graphics really do make it hard to argue with it, even with some of the flight model issues and things like that, and bugs in behavior. When it works, man, it gets hard to argue. What launcher, bud? Are you did you grab it from the store? Hey, is that the Opera House over there? I didn't know they had a boxed edition. Okay, so break it down to me though. What's happening? So you obviously, I'm assuming when you say boxed edition, you're referring to old style CD, right? Oh, let's pull that speed back. We're over speeding. Probably pull that pitch back a bit. 10 DVDs. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. So you load disk 1 in. You obviously have to launch an executable. What happens? By the way, is the stream nice and smooth for you guys? Any issues? Yeah, there it is. Sydney Opera House. Cool. And a couple of high-rise buildings that I don't want to hit. I have to say the flight model on this is actually pretty impressive, truth be told. I don't know if you guys caught that turbulence bounce as we were going over those skyscrapers. It's pretty legit. What do we got there? Do you have a Microsoft Flight Simulator icon in your start menu as a recently installed product? That is so cool. I see. Alright, so let's think about this for a second. So that means that the installation isn't laying down the executable in the registry. First time you ever installed this, it worked fine? What was the reason for the reinstall? Yeah, wouldn't be the first time Windows updates broke something. Okay, so I got to think about where you would have to go. So you're going to have a couple of problems here. What it sounds like is you have leftover, most likely corrupted data, either in your app data folder, and I don't know which folders Microsoft Flight Simulator installs to off the top of my head. So you're going to have C users, whatever your username is, app data. Are you familiar with all those folders? I don't want to talk to you like a noob if you're not one. Okay, so I would check the local, low, and roaming folders. I would do an uninstall first off, see if there's anything in programs and features to uninstall. And don't use the stupid programs and features, the apps and features. Actually go through the control panel and see if you can uninstall Microsoft Flight Simulator. If it's not there, then try the apps and features. If it's not there, then I would manually rip it. So go through your directories and pull it, everything that you can find out of it. What's going to be the hard part is the registry. I don't know if you'd have to remove the registry or not, or remove the entries from the registry or not. The registry entries is what I would be concerned with preventing you from completing the installation successfully. For whatever reason, either A, you have corrupted registry entries that have a broken executable to it, or B, they're not laying down correctly and therefore the executable is never created in the store as accessible. Does that make sense? Should we try to land in this fjord here? Gotcha. So you ripped everything out already? It's too weird, man. Gotcha. So then I'd be worried about the registry then. Another sort of silly question. I don't know what your internet speed and all that is like. Is it possible for you to contact Microsoft and switch over to the digital version? I don't know if that's something they would let you do or not. Gotcha. Okay. Well, let me know how it goes. Feel free to reach out to me. You know, if you don't have, if I'm not on here or on YouTube, catch me at overkillsimulations@gmail.com. I'll be happy to offer any help I can get, man. After it installs, the other thing you might want to check is your Windows Event Viewer, if you're familiar with it. See if there's any errors being reported from the installation. You should also have an installation log in whatever installation directory you pick. You might check that as well, see if anything went wrong towards the end. So I think it's at the end when the executable should be created, or associated at least. You guys know any good spots in Australia that we should turn this beast to? We're near Sydney. Well, we're in Sydney, really. That was the Opera House back there, for anyone who missed that. I've never been out here before, and I figured, what the heck, we'll try something different. That's some weird behavior, man. I avoid Steam or third-party installations as much as possible, so yeah, definitely let me know. And then the updates after that. You guys realize how cool it would be to own a seaplane? That'd be like just the neatest thing. Like, I feel like that's like ultimate freedom. Jimmy Buffett has my number, man. That's all I'm saying. Be able to just hop up and go anywhere you want to go. That's where my life choices were wrong. Apparently, I should have been a professional entertainer. So funny because I feel like Australia is one of those places that you feel like, oh wow, yeah, it's so pretty, look down at that. But then anytime you watch anything on like Discovery Channel or National Geographic, it's like, man, I wouldn't want to go anywhere near that place. Everything wants to kill you. Oh, look, what a pretty flower. Dead. It's like the Amazon. I had a friend of mine who wanted to take a vacation to the Amazon. I'm like, nope, Everything there wants to kill you. Pretty sure there are toxic butterflies in the Amazon. Is the stream laggy or anything for you guys? Is it looking good? That looks like a fun place to land. Good. Let me know if it starts lagging or having frame rate issues or anything like that. Definitely don't want you guys having a poor experience with this. Oh, this is going to get interesting. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Tell me that doesn't give you Jurassic Park vibes right there. Any second now, a Tyrannosaurus is going to pop out of those trees and bite us. I just recently got into this airplane, like really started flying it, and really is a blast. It handles the way you would expect it to. It's sluggish on the controls. It doesn't move the way some of the other, freeware aircraft do, where you have an aircraft that should move like a tank and moves like a Ferrari. and then vice versa. You know, we've seen the opposite. It seems just right. It's definitely a plane that you're constantly on the controls with this aircraft. Like the trim isn't particularly responsive on it. The autopilot, even though the panel's there, from what I can tell, it doesn't work. And I'm actually okay with that. I think this is where it came from. I think it's a port from the old FSX, if I remember correctly. I could be mistaken, but... And then, so there was the initial developer, and then I think there was someone else that's doing a modification for it. I haven't checked it out yet. But basically making the performance numbers a bit more realistic. But I'm already thoroughly impressed with it. Of course, the graphics aren't, you know, what you would call up to MSF standards, if you will, but apparently neither is the ocean, as you can see there. But it's fun to fly. And from the outside, I mean, it's pretty good. You know, again, of course, it's not perfect, but definitely not bad at all. Oh, do you live out here? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, hell, maybe I'll have to fly over there next, because this is beautiful. If the scenery looks the same where you're at. I would love to be able to travel the world. See places like Africa, Australia, Ireland. It'd be so cool. What's crazy to me, I guess, the most about Microsoft Flight Simulator is the freeware aircraft are better than a lot of the payware. Barefoot skiing, as in over the water. How did that not hurt? I get it's just water, but at a certain speed, that starts to sting. Man, I just sound like a wimp today. Whoa. Let's add some power. Let's accelerate a bit. See how long we can fly this thing like a fighter. Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah, that just looks like that would sting like hell. I remember back in high school, you know, we would go to the school swimming pool, and they had the big high-rise dive boards, and we'd go off them, and man, just landing on your feet, if you landed wrong, just your feet would light up. So, picturing, you'd have to, what, I'd guess 40, 50 miles an hour before you really start getting out of the water, right? You'd be cooking right along. I'm gonna have to set up some bush trips in the Goose. I think that'd be fun. Do like around the world in the Goose. You realize how many short flights that would be? This thing doesn't have a huge range. I think it's 960 nautical miles. I think is the range on this. Something around there. Don't quote me exactly, but I know it's close to that. That'd be a pretty area to live in, wouldn't it? I do. I have not used it in, man, probably 6 years, if not longer. P3D is where I started. Actually, technically I started in FSX, I guess, but very quickly moved to P3D as they seem to have the better aircraft. We're going to overspeed this one, speaking of aircraft. And then I went to P3D, and primarily, excuse me, for the PMDG aircraft. I have the 737 Queen of the Skies. And I thought I had a third one, but I might be wrong. Maybe the 777? Anyway, I digress. But then X-Plane 11 came out, and honestly, I bounced back and forth between the two for a while, but then X-Plane 11 just kind of wound up being my all-time go-to, and I haven't reinstalled P3D in, like I said, a few years now. It's like sort of what's happening to X-Plane 11 for me now. It's installed, but I haven't touched it in probably 8 months. And I think the biggest thing is the scenery. It's just so hard to get past the scenery that Microsoft Flight Simulator offers. X-Plane 11, I absolutely believe, has the better flight models. I won't argue that with anybody. But, I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator is also still an infant. It really is. You know, a year old, that isn't squat. So everything's coming along. But yes, I do have it. I know I kind of went on a tangent there. P3D is awesome, don't get me wrong. And if you're willing to shell out the money for the PMDG aircraft, they're probably some of the highest fidelity aircraft available. But they're expensive. They're extremely expensive if you haven't checked into them yet. But at the same token, you know, it sort of goes back to, I'm curious what you guys' opinions are on that Phoenix A320 that's coming. Hey, Maverick. That Phoenix A320, man, it's going to have to be something pretty fantastic for me to take it over the Flybywire. I mean, it's really hard to argue with free. And I know it's a slightly different version. You know, it's not quite the same. It's not the Neo. But I don't know, the Flybywire team have done such a great job with that A320. For me, I'm going to buy it so that way I can review it for you guys. But, yeah, I mean, even this is a freeware model. Look at the turbulence. Look what's happening with the flight model. And this is freeware. And then you have a team like, you know, Flybywire doing their A320. It's like, why would you want to buy one? I don't know. It's like I said, we'll see what happens when I do the review on it, but it's going to be real hard for me to justify it. What do you guys think? Are you guys interested in the A320? The Airbus? Yeah. Ooh, favorite. Man, favorite's a tough word. You know, it's funny. My daughter asked me not too long ago, just before Father's Day, she was making something for me on Photoshop for Father's Day, and she asked me one day, she's like, what's your favorite airplane? It's like, how do you answer that? You know, well, what genre? What theater of war? Are we talking a war? Are we talking commercial? Are we talking general aviation? I would say the A320 is my definite favorite in Microsoft Flight Simulator. At the moment, the 737, if and when we see it, is going to be a hard one to battle against. I love the Boeing, but we'll see what happens there. The TBM 930 is probably my favorite quote-unquote plane to fly in of all of them in the sim. It's like flying a Lamborghini. You know, I actually have never flown on VetSim. Why aren't you comfortable flying with it on VetSim? See, but that's my thing. They're going to have to be real careful with the price of the Phoenix, though. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, that's true. It is missing quite a bit still. You know, for giggles, a couple weeks ago, I jumped into the default A320. Oh, my mercy. It's amazing when you realize how much does not work on it, dude. I was like, I gotta do one flight, so I was doing a real quick hop from Tucson to Phoenix. I mean, we're talking, it's only an hour and a half if you drive there, right? So I'm like, all right, you know, I'll just do one quick flight and see what it's like, right? Because I can't remember. And I didn't even make it out of the gate. I'm like, nope, I can't do this. It was so bad. Like, nothing works on that thing. Like, it's just like, why did we bother? I need to fly the CJ4 more often. I was actually just thinking about that last night, which is funny enough. You know, now that I've got the Longitude guide complete and, well, not complete, but, you know, released. And I can start working on other things. I've always wanted to learn the CJ4. It's much like you know, we're talking about obviously the A320 with Flybywire. It's so detailed. Like, I don't want to just jump into it and then try to wing my way through it. I need to actually sit down and learn it. Yeah, working title set the bar. I mean, that's pardon my French, that's a badass team right there, man. Between the G1000, the G3000, the CJ4, I mean, that's all of those things that they brought to this simulation. It is amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, me too. Although, same with the Flybywire. I'm glad they finally got their recognition as well. I'm really watching that Airbus group very closely too. The Hype group. They're doing real well too. Especially for the SDK not even supporting helicopters. Thank you. Thank you. Keep watching them. I'll keep pumping them out. It really does mean a lot. I don't take that lightly. There are so many videos that you guys never see that never make it public because I watch them and just like, no, I can't do it. Like, I don't like it. Wow. I don't even think I've watched every one of them. That's really awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It really does mean a lot. It's sort of like this live stream. This is my second one that I've done. It's, you know, and I can be borderline arrogant at times. Like, let's just call it what it is. But when you toss yourself out there for the public, like, you know, with a stream or YouTube, it gives you a moment of pause. Like, you're like, do I really want to toss myself out there? And so hearing that really does mean a lot. I would say that's probably true with 95% of content creators. And in case you guys are wondering, I have successfully gotten us lost in Australia. I have no idea where we are anymore. Well, it's probably a good thing because, like a dipstick, I had the wrong link attached to the first one. So you probably wouldn't have found it anyway. It was one of the other YouTube viewers on the channel that pointed out that I had the wrong link in there, and I'm just like, ah, man. But I do appreciate that. It means a lot. And it's fun to actually have someone to talk to other than myself. You know, I think that was the hardest part to get over on creating YouTube videos is at the end of the day, you are talking to yourself. And answering yourself most of the time. That's the scary part. We might have to open the VFR map. I really don't know where we are anymore. I can't remember if the fuel tanks are actually working in this thing. What, look at the VFR map? Kilo Charlie Lima Lima. What's that one? Yeah, I'm going to in a second. I think you're right. I'm going to be in trouble here if I don't. Oh, maybe. What do we got out there? Are we getting close? Oh, there's civilization. I think we're okay. College Station, Texas. Huh. Never even heard of it. And then Alpha Bravo, Quebec. Is that Albuquerque? There are signs of life out here. Hey, Cheese Man. Maverick, what altitude you cruising at? Yeah, so it is Albuquerque. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. I've flown there a couple times. 40,000 feet. You know, I think that's our home right there. And by our home, I mean somebody's home that I have commandeered for the sake of these streams. But I think we're back to our starting location by complete accident. Is that where we started? No, it's not. Fail. Do you use Simbri for your flight plans? I do. And initially it was going to be just for Patreon subscribers, but I have actually made the decision to go public with it. So I feel like I've got a good handle on communication now, or at least a decent one. I just didn't want to become so large and then people feel like they were being ignored. So, but yeah, I think we're going to go public with it. So be on the lookout for that. But if you guys ever need anything that I can help with, please don't hesitate to email me. Just Grab it at overkillsimulations@gmail.com. I have no problem helping where I can. Is that actually a boat in action? Oh, no. Damn. We need... Is there a mod that you guys are aware of for marine life? Boats, etc.? Be kind of cool to see that as a scenery enhancement. It would make flights like this a lot better. A lot better? A lot better? Much better? More better? Wow, more better? More better that way. Gosh, ugh. That felt gross just saying it like that. Anyway, the MSFS add-on utility, which one? The add-ons linker or the community downloader? I've done so many, dude. You gotta be more specific than that. Although I haven't had many add-on videos to make lately. There haven't been a whole lot of updates or new content coming out as far as add-ons go yet. Hello to viewers who are still joining. We're just sort of touring around Australia in the Grumman Goose. Getting ready to land here, I think, soon. Oh, the add-ons linker? Yes, I love the add-ons linker. I swear by it. It doesn't matter what I'm installing. I put it into the mods folder and then use add-ons linker to actually install it. Doesn't matter what it is. It makes it real nice too when you're testing out multiple add-ons that do similar behavior, such as like, you know, there's quite a few, I think 3 or 4 now, airport texture enhancement packs, whether it be taxiways, runways, etc. And then the most recent one that I've been messing around with is the Rex one. And it's pretty good, I will say that. I have to jump on board with pretty much everybody now and say Rex Weather Force is no longer viable. Have you seen this one regarding ships? Hang on a second. Let me get the aircraft where I'm not going to slam into a mountain and I'll click on it. Alright, cross your fingers. If we crash, it's Christopher's fault. Let's see, what do we got? No, I have not seen that. March 6th. Dude. Are they actually active, or is it just more like static objects? Global Ship Traffic Project provides AI ship and realistic models. Real-life ships of all types, fishing boats. Cool. You guys should check that out. This is it's pretty good looking add-on. I will definitely be reviewing that. Fingers crossed for you, brother. Dude, that is awesome. Thanks, Chris. I'll definitely be sharing that on the channel. I've just recently really started diving into scenery enhancements. There were so many other add-ons and liveries and planes and tools and recorders, you know, that I was working with that, you know, scenery was just one of those things that's such a huge topic anyway. I think we're going to start looking into bringing her down, guys. But any other great scenery packs that you guys either want me to show on the channel or think would be really beneficial, please share them, because, like, you know, like this one, this is a good one. Sorry, I'm still reading it. I need to stop doing that now. So I haven't ever touched VATSIM, believe it or not. The one that I used in X-Plane years ago and I want to get back into is Pilot Edge. Pilot's Edge is tough, but you learn a lot, and if you catch them in the slower hours, they're really helpful. And are you guys all familiar with what Pilot Edge is? assume that's a yes. So with Pilot Edge, you know... Oh, gotcha. So Pilot Edge, I think they're just restricted to the U.S. at the moment, and West Coast, I believe, yeah. They're slowly expanding, but what it is it's a service where you actually interact with real-world air traffic controllers. They dedicate their time or donate their time, however that works. I'm not sure what the kickback to the ATC controllers is. Anyway, you're speaking with real-world air traffic controllers. And, you know, if you bust your altitude or things like that, you know, based on the severity of your error, they can either tell you that they're going to terminate your service so you can keep flying, but you can no longer speak with them for that particular flight. Or they'll give you the option to restart your flight depending on the severity. Some things they'll just be like, hey, in the future you want to do X, Y, Z. But yeah, if you catch them when they're nice and slow, they'll give you tons of tips. They really do work nicely with you. At the same token, if you catch them on a busy day, they'll chew at you, man. They'll be like, hey, if you're going to be on the radio, you need to speak faster. Kind of thing. You need to be prepared at the time that you contact us. Make sure you're writing things down, etc. Like, they get pretty grumpus. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna pull the floats down. I don't know why that sound loops like that, but I don't mind payware if it's legit. And yeah, exactly, it's the same in real life. And that's why I think I prefer Pilot Edge. If I'm going to practice, I want to get the real world experience. I'm going to resubscribe to it, and then after I'm more familiar with it and get back in the swing of things of speaking to air traffic control, I'm going to start adding it to the channel. All right, let's go flaps 30. And we're going to be slowing down to about 90 knots. The things you got to be careful for on this Goose, man, is she likes to hold her speed in a down angle. So it makes it a little bit easier to either be real slow on your descent or just make sure that you sort of stage it. Because, like, look, I mean, if you look at the ADI versus our airspeed, I mean, just slight pitch down, and she starts to accelerate. I mean, that was less than 5 degrees. So, there we go. Let's go flap 60. And we're going to be looking for 90 knots on the touch. Let's get a little bit closer to land. Add some power in. Yeah, I totally get that. I'm not one who tends to take my time getting into things, and most of the time that bites me in the back end, but you know, some lessons will never be learned. I was going to start for my PPL this month, but we got sort of forced into buying a house, so that got put on hold for a minute. Four Seasons pack. I want to say I saw that. Oh, really? Oh, is it very? I thought you were saying it is. Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good question. How's the FPS? Do you notice any impact? that's good. That's real good. Maintain that 90 knots. Power off. Slight flare. Oof, and down like a hammer. I can't wait till they get the water physics in. That'll be so cool. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. That's gotta be so tricky. I would think landing on water the first time you do it, first 20 times you do it, just terrifying. So many variables. I was reading a thing the other day, though. It's amazing how common it is for pilots to make the mistake of landing with the gear down. Like, I guess it just becomes that muscle memory that, oh, landing, that means the wheels come down. And that's a bad day. Let's pull the pitch back. Fast way to slow the aircraft down in the water that I found for this particular bird: kill the pitch. Take that prop pitch out and she just drops like a rock. But watch your RPMs. Get the warning light. Just kick the throttle up just a little bit. But I mean, we're going to be stopping anyway, so. And then once you get slow enough. Uh-oh. As he was saying. Oh, turn, baby. We're going to beach it. Whoo! Oh man, I was sure I was toast. Skated by. That was terrifying. That ain't too bad. I'll take that. That could have been worse. I meant to do that. That building over there. That's a breakfast diner. Yeah, that was all intentional. I'm sure. Let's see here. Good. All right. Well, always good times. Well, guys, that's going to be it for the stream for now. I'm probably going to do another one later this evening. So if you guys are interested in watching, make sure you guys join up for that. We'll see what it brings. I think we're going to do a different plane, obviously. Maybe do a commercial flight this evening. But thank all of you guys for joining. It was fun talking to you guys, and nice having just someone to talk to. So until the next time, folks, you guys have a great week. Hope Sunday's treating you guys well, and I'll talk to you soon.